Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. Ever heard of a soft-served margarita? Well, apparently it's a refreshing treat I know that I need to find out more about. But when you know better, you do better. And then this week's edition of A Dash of That, our favorite food and cultural journalist, Martina Yvette Allen, takes us to Pooler to Cocina Mexican Restaurant, a family-friendly establishment with a modern take on traditional Mexican cuisine. She joins us now with more. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So that immediately got my attention.
Yes.
The soft served margaritas, what is that about? Apparently it's a viral thing.
Yes, so I was about to say, it got everybody's attention.
Really?
Apparently, it became very popular back in March of this year. And it was spotted, I believe, first in California, and then it trickled its way down, and a lot of people in Georgia were like, when are we getting it? We saw other restaurants that got them out in the Atlanta area, and then Cocina Mexican Restaurant, the one that is in Pooler, Georgia, was actually the first one to get the viral sensation here in Chatham County, in Savannah. Well, surrounding areas, of course, because it's in Pooler. So we had a lot of TikTok influencers that came and they showed this beautiful margarita, and I was like, wow, we need to get ahead of this and see what's going on here.
Yes.
So we took a little trip to Pooler, and we met up with Gabby and Eric, who is the chef, as well as Juan, and we were able to actually find out a little bit more about Cocina, as well as the viral sensation of the soft serve margarita.
So I guess it really is cooler.
It is cooler
literally,
and cooler.
right? Okay. So this is a new Mexican restaurant. Is it Tex-Mex?
So it is more Tex-Mex. They do have some authentic flavors as well, and we'll get into that when we start talking about some of their more highlighted items. But for the most part, they do focus on more so viral trending authenticity pieces or entrees. So that's one of the things that they want to do, is make sure that they're still staying ahead of the game while also staying true to their roots.
Okay, so we're taking a look at
Yes.
the interior of the restaurant, and one of the owners said that at our core, we are deeply family oriented. When you walk through our doors, we want you to feel like you're sitting at our family table.
Absolutely. So Cocina means kitchen. So it definitely does give that vibe of like a very traditional kitchen. It's very neutral in there. It gives a nice ambient feeling. So when you walk in there, especially it was a bustling Taco Tuesday for that day. But even when we sat down, it didn't feel like anything was overcrowded. It actually made it seem like it was a very simplistic place that even if it was a slower crowd that day, you would have felt very comfortable being there as well.
So Eric and Juan, they actually have extensive culinary backgrounds. Eric grew up in Puerto Rico.
That is correct. So a lot of his flavor profile comes from his family. He learned a lot from his family in the cooking experience, and for the most part, a majority of the flavor that he pulls is from back home. So he does do a lot of different work. He worked in a lot of kitchens, mostly Mexican restaurants when he moved to when he moved over to the States area. So this was some of those things that he wanted to basically make sure that he highlighted from his own home kitchen as well.
And they source locally. They use
Yes.
local vendors,
That is
local
correct.
stores, local food for
Correct.
the items that they make.
And that's one of the things that really was amazing for me to hear, because we always want to make sure that we're doing something with a local appeal whenever we showcase the majority of these restaurants. So giving back to the community is one of the things that's most important to them. Los Panchos was one of the ones that they mentioned. It was a meat market, and then also Bravo Food Company in Garden City is where they get a majority of their items from as well to make their sopas as well as their tamales.
Okay, so we're gonna dig into this menu. Let's take a look at this picture. So what is this?
So Juan wants to stay ahead of the game. So of course, as you can see, this looks like a traditional quesadilla, but he wants to make it a little bit fun and appealing. So this is actually the Berea pizza. So, so the beautiful thing about this, the cheese pull on this is also very insane. I wish we would have took a picture of that. But for the most part, whenever we had the opportunity to try this dish, especially the Berea, that was one of the most highlighted dishes we had here. Their Berea is slow simmered, almost 4 to 5 hours.
A labor of love for them.
A labor of love. They use the cheek, the shank in other parts of the beef as well. And then beside that is the consomme. Now, I know we've been talking a lot about burritos recently on the show, but the difference between their consomme is that they actually do have a thicker blanket to their consomme. So there's a lot of secret spices and seasonings they have in there that they won't release, but for the most part, they do have it. And you could definitely taste that as well. This one was the ramen. So this was one of the more viral items that they also have as well. It does work better to also add the avocado as well as the pico on the side as well, but for the most part, the burrito sits at the bottom while everything else floats to the top.
But the burrito taco takes the cake. The burrito taco, okay.
So the tacos are actually fried slightly harder. They do a traditional idea of the burrito with just simple cilantro involved in there with the consomme as well, and that thick cheese of the Oaxaca that's also combined in there as well.
So the most difficult item on the menu as far as labor is concerned would be their what?
It is the burrito. So the burrito is the most difficult one that they have. But they do have another item that is also closely related to more difficult, and that one will be the pollo asado. So that one will probably come up next, but this one is just a glimpse of the one of the soft serves. So this was a mixture of the mango and strawberry. It comes with a chamoy, which I thought was nice, and also tahini. So I really liked how the spice also hit here, just because it was a difference as far as the salt. But I did ask because I needed to know, since it's a soft serve, I'm thinking there's milk in it.
Yes.
Traditionally there would be if it was like for other places, but I've noticed recently, because we want to make sure there's a dairy-free appeal, that they do not, the soft serve for them is more about texture. So it's more fluffy.
So now here's the margarita.
Yes,
here's the
these are the margaritas. So you have, like I said, they only have the strawberry and mangoes for us tonight, but they also coat it with a cute little candy, so they do that with some fruit as well, and it was very delicious, and it paired well with the majority of the dishes as well.
All right, and we need that in our lives
we definitely
right now
do.
when it's so hot.
Yes,
so.
And trust me, it was a very, very hot night when we went, and everyone, it seems like, was ordering these particular margaritas as well. So,
I got next.
Yes.
Okay, so Casino Mexican Restaurant is located at 405 Pooler Parkway. That's in Pooler, of course.
Yes.
They're open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. until 10:30 p.m., and Sunday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. You can find the link to Martina's blog, a dash of that, a dash of history, this segment, and any of her other previous interviews by visiting our website, wsav.com/Martina. She was wrong for not bringing me a burrito taco.
So sorry. And if I bring it to you, I'm probably going to eat it myself.
Okay, there's that. Thank you, Martina.
Of course.
Time right now for a look at our forecast. Good morning, Alyssa.